If you want to play ball, you've got to follow these wacky rules, and the complaints from students and parents sound like a joyful choir. Who would have thought that Carter's son would sneak out of the best school just to follow his dad's training? That's what you call a basketball loving. When Carter learned this, he was shocked. What father can bear his kid switching from a top school to a poor one? His son's excuse: "I'd rather be a big fish in a small pond than a small fish in the ocean." Carter had no choice but to accept it and doubled the contract conditions. The next day, Carter drove a used car to send his son, who was still 2 minutes late. Carter introduced his new body to the team and then handed his son double the punishment. Talk about love. After a month of extreme training, they finally hit their first game, and boy, were they ready to roll. Sadly, they lacked defensive skills. Carter was calm, demanding only keep running. Once on the court, they were totally steamrolled by the opponents, trailing by a whopping 8 points at halftime. But in the second half, their stamina kicked in. The opponents were wheezing, while they were still full of energy. This team, once the underdogs, pulled off a miraculous win in their season opener. Everyone was super excited, but then Cruz, the guy who got kicked out, came over to throw shade. He was talking smack, but inside he was a storm of emotions, remembering when he got booted from the team. Cruz had been living a rough life with his cousin lately, and suddenly realized he might have missed the boat. Next day, Cruz showed up at the gym, hoping to get back on the team, but faced with punishment, he chose silent resistance. Ultimately, with the help of the team, he secured his place back. That's Carter's second lesson: unity. With Cruz back, they breezed through their second game. What a miracle! The intense training ramped up their skills and fitness, and after winning 4 consecutive games, they were flying high. Subtitles: they began hurling unprovoked trash talk and imitating their opponents, as if intoxicated by the elixir of victory. This truly enraged Carter. This was Carter's third lesson: humility, the hallmark of a true champion. Carter noticed the players' grades were awful, and the teacher joked they were like lunar eclipses rarely seen. His face was a picture of despair, and when he asked the principal for the students' grades, he got told he was just a basketball coach. The school's graduation rate was a dismal 50%, and this crushed Carter. They ended up in a heated argument, and not surprisingly, it was a quarrel of champions. Despite this squabble, Carter held firmly to his belief students needed to balance education and basketball. Eventually, they each walked away, seemingly having learned a thing or two. But thankfully, the team's performance was skyrocketing, and they quickly clinched the tournament championship. With a perfect 12-0 record, the players became stars, putting it up like celebrities. But when Carter caught wind of it, he immediately rounded them up. Classic. The players didn't see what the fuss was about, saying, "Didn't we win the game? That's awesome." Carter felt utterly defeated watching these Victory Days players. Back in the office, the school finally delivered their report cards, and it was laughable. Everyone's grades were dismal, and Carter realized just how much he had failed in educating them. The next day, when they returned to the gym, the doors were locked tight, with a sign saying training cancelled. The players were dumbfounded, standing around for ages not knowing where the library was. Talk about wasted effort. After finally finding it, Carter pointed at the contract and report card, solemnly declaring, "We have failed." The subtitles read, "The players were completely puzzled, with Cruz causing trouble and the principal also exerting pressure. Yet Carter remained firm in his decision. He even posted a cancellation notice for all matches, igniting a firestorm." Media swarmed outside the school, and Carter faced their questions with a firm demeanor. Subtitle: he intended to listen to the genuine opinions of the team members, yet to his surprise, he found their perspectives were extremely short-sighted. Carter calmly laid it out. Our school has a 50% graduation rate, and only 6% of those can go to college. Shocking, isn't it? The rest, a third of them, might just end up scraping by. Carter urged them to look left and right at their classmates. These are just numbers. Go home, think about your lives, and consider your parents' struggles. With that, Carter got up and left, and the place seemed to grasp a little something. Titles: The Cook's Fourth Lesson, Responsibility. Next time, they studied voluntarily. They even volunteered in the community water transformation. But the parents were not happy about it at all. The news media started blowing up, claiming Carter was restraining the kids, turning him into a cautionary tale. Carter became public enemy number one, with people even storming his sports store at night. It seemed everyone forgot one thing: before he arrived, these kids were living in misery. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing content.